Do guns kill people? That seems to be the question on everyone's mind today. Gun control is bad, gun control is this, and gun control is that. You are judged based on what you believe about it. And there are many different opinions on it. Well, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of gun control, what the Democrats and Republicans think about gun control, and just some basic facts on gun control. Starting with the pros of gun control. Did you know that guns are accountable for 66.6% of all homicides? Now that is a lot. Guns are also accountable for 52.2% of all suicides. That's all nationwide. That's over half. Guns are also the 12th leading causes of death. And there are a lot of states that don't have strict gun control laws, so I think that helps plays into this. Guns are used to keep people compliant. So if you're getting raped, chances are a gun is being used to keep you compliant. Moving on to some of the cons. It is your Second Amendment right to own guns, so gun control laws are kind of infringing upon that. A Supreme Court case in Chicago actually refused to hear a case regarding gun control because they thought the issue was too sensitive. Granted, they never really gave a reason as to why they didn't want to hear it. It is inquired that some people just thought that it was way too sensitive and they just don't want to have to deal with the burden of that. That's from LipTag. Moving on to some of the comparisons of it. I interviewed a person named Jordan Fast, and he is the Wilmot School government teacher. He said, law-abiding citizens do not break the laws with guns. What that means is he says that if you have gun control laws and someone is being hurt or held at gunpoint, the citizen that is being held at gunpoint does not have a way to protect themselves because guns are outlawed. And current laws, some people feel, are aimed at poor inner-city colored communities because they're viewed as more dangerous versus Caucasian communities. Well, I don't completely find that wrong. Some gun controls are aimed at areas that are viewed as more dangerous. If you have a Caucasian person walking down the street with an AK-47, chances are they're going to be viewed as a hero, versus an African American or any other ethnicity walking down the street with an AK-47, chances are you're going to see them as a terrorist versus a hero. I don't think that's right. Moving on to kind of a comparison. Phantom guns kind of relate back to what Fast said about law-abiding citizens do not break the laws with guns. Well, this just goes to show that criminals do. Phantom guns are not factory made. Phantom guns have no serial number, so they are virtually untraceable. So that would not be very good. Connecticut says that people on the no-fly list should not be able to buy guns. And Connecticut also has some of the strictest gun laws. 2 cities from Connecticut are actually listed in the top 10 most dangerous cities, even though they have some of the most strict gun laws. And those 2 cities are New Haven and Hartford. And that's Connecticut to ban gun sales to people on the no-fly list. Moving on to some of the other things that I was talking about. Democrats. They passed the Brady Law and assault weapons ban, and they increased federal and state local crime prosecution by 22% since 1992. Since then, crime rate is down 32%. I think that's pretty awesome. They do feel that gun control should have some limits, like each gun should have a mandatory child lock. Photo ID should be required to own a handgun. A background check and a gun safety course should be required before you can own a gun, or a handgun at least. And that's Democrat Party on gun control. Moving on to Republicans. This is their shortened platform. They basically say that you can keep and bear arms, acknowledge and support and defend law-abiding rights. They can use and store firearms, but it's the individual's responsibility. And you can find the rest at Republican Party on gun control. Republicans basically support everything about gun control. And they know that people should be responsible with guns, even though some always aren't. Moving on to some of the facts. There are 3 basic classifications of gun control: handguns, rifles, and shotguns. There was a survey in 2010 that said 40 to 45% of all households own guns. That's about 47 to 53 million people. And some of the reasons were protection, that was 67%, and target shooting was 66%. And that's from Gun Control-Just Facts. In 1976, there was a law, and it says, the prohibition of residents from passing handguns and requiring that all firearms in private homes be kept unloaded and rendered temporarily inoperable via disassembly or installation of a trigger lock. That became operable September 24th, 1976. That's pretty amazing. So with all of that being said, I've told you about the pros and cons of gun control and what each political party thinks about gun control, and just some basic facts of gun control. Now I hope you go and decide what you want to do with all of this information. Thank you.